Hey everyone, it's Jenna Melanson from Canadian Beats Media for our first ever 5Q's on Zoom. Today I'm joined by Brava and Sumi, who are leading up to their Kintsugi release. Welcome, both of you.
Hi.
Hi.
So first of all, care to introduce yourselves a bit more in depth?
Sure. I'm Annie. I am a musician, a vocalist, a songwriter. Um, Most recently I've been living near to Ithaca, New York, and I've known Brian for quite a long time. And this is our first time collaborating on a project together.
Hey.
I'm Brian. I live here in Toronto. Um, Brava Kilo or Brian Kobayakawa. I go by both names. And I'm a bass player and a synthesist and a composer. And yeah, Annie and I have been collaborating on this set of tunes and the installation for the last little while. And we're excited to share it.
You've released your single, Stone Between the Lips. What can you tell us about the writing process behind this release?
Yeah, it was most recently I've been kind of acknowledging that it kind of came from a dream in some ways. Thinking about meeting an ancestor of ours on a bridge and being able to finally talk about some things that have been hard to talk about in our families. And then that metaphor kind of spun out into some lyrical content, and Brian and I had a great time just teasing out what we were really trying to say in that song. And yeah.
I saw a thing you said of it being your first successful
Co-write.
full co-write.
Hey.
Yeah. It really was. Yeah, Annie came with a verse and a chorus and just kind of a shell of some chords, and I spent some time putting some production and some different sounds on it, and then we got together and more of the lyrics came out, and I added a bunch of words for the second verse, and yeah, it feels really like something that we both brought a lot of ourselves to.
Great.
Yeah.
The single is from your upcoming release due out in March. What was the highlight of making the album?
Whew. I mean, it was really exciting because it started as a bunch of songs for a concert, and then because of the pandemic and our interests and just a whole bunch of different circumstances, it turned into an installation art piece with my grandmother's sewing machine at the core of it and magnets and sensors, and I think that was something neither of us saw coming. That was really exciting and rewarding, and more than anything, we're just glad it worked.
So as you just mentioned, the art installation, you unveiled this anti-racist, interactive, multidisciplinary art installation, and I'd love to hear more about this. Care to share a bit more?
Sure. Yeah, it's currently installed at the Japanese Canadian Cultural Center in Toronto until March 17th. And yeah, it's this really incredible interactive installation that is built into this sewing machine that Brian was talking about that was his grandmother's. And all the music and projections live inside this machine, and all the user has to do is pedal the treadle foot. So it's been really amazing to see it in a space and take up some physical space. So I don't know, metaphorically, it feels like the music takes up some space, and the idea of having these conversations is actually given some body and some, yeah.
That sounds great. So do you have anything planned after these releases to continue to tell the story of your ancestry?
I think we're both hoping that the installation has a life beyond its time at the Japanese Canadian Cultural Center, that it'll move on to a different museum or gallery or who knows what. Yeah, it's pretty unique, I think, for the two of us who've spent most of our lives touring around and playing songs in front of people, physically in the space, to have something that is more than a record and is something people have to go see, but we don't necessarily have to be there. So that's exciting to think of where it could go next. And yeah.
Do you have any more co-writes in the making?
We have a few that were part of this that never got finished. I don't know, maybe we should dive into them.
Might flesh
someday.
those out sometime.
I'm not sure totally what's next. We both got a bunch of projects of our own on the go individually, separately. So I think that's definitely the most immediate next thing. But yeah,
Okay.
we're probably not done.
We're currently editing a film for this project though too, so we're hoping to release
Okay.
a film in the next couple of months.
Mhm.